we're here at Jacob's Pillow really working on this piece called What We Ask of Flesh, which is an idea and a question that came to me through the writer Ramika Bingham. And I've been asking the question for about 5 years. It started as a solo project and it's turned into a series of pieces. What we ask of flesh compassion, what we ask of flesh journey, what we ask of flesh survival, what we ask of flesh knowledge, is all these things. And so we're really fortunate to be able to bring the company here to try to synthesize these 5 years of research into an experience that epitomizes the human capacity for life. So that's what we're doing here, trying to answer the question, what is that permutation between the world and the soul? How does it keep track of who we are? Does it exhaust itself? Do we exhaust it? And at the end of that, how do we call life beginning again or ending?
We got here on Tuesday. We kind of had like a get ourselves together day. The Pillow delivered groceries to us, which was really awesome. We kind of we have 2 fridges, so we have a produce fridge and a not produce fridge, because that's how much produce we got. And we had a company meeting and kind of just checked in with each other.
And so we want to figure out this week what's relevant about what we've done so far, and if we can put this in some type of order.
Usually we spend more the mornings to kind of discuss, kind of to figure out what the goals are, what the piece is what we ask of flesh. So we're talking a lot about what is flesh and what is the body and what is the spirit in relationship to the body, and just covering different parallels and different conversations to inform the work.
Yeah, just being in this process of what we ask of flesh is really, I think is significant right now as we are slowing down as people, as human beings, artists, really just trying to figure out our vision, or maybe a possibility of finally tapping into imagination and seeing how we can exist in this flesh, in this body that we may not have been so intimate with pre-COVID.
Within the work, we've been talking about how flesh is this substance or this matter that can either receive or take in, or also permeate out. So I think being here is important because I need to really understand what is going to sound corny, but what my flesh is asking of myself right now. What do I need in order to be available, so that I'm not contracting within to myself rather than expanding into what I'm made to be. Thinking of myself larger than this flesh that I have, because we are so much more than our flesh. We are more than our thoughts. We are more than our feelings. That's what I've been being reminded of while being here, is you are more than these things that are popping up. You have to be aware of them, but how are you learning from them so that you can move forward?
I feel that I'm actually just immersing myself and connecting and taking care of as many of the different voices as possible, or summarizing it as best as I can with this. So I feel more that we are all in this same space with the same contribution, equal contributions from different angles.
We did the improvisational tasks around love and what love we want, what love we desire, what love we give. We were doing it on our own, and I was like getting in my jam, and then Crystal said, okay, grab a partner. And you know when that happens, you're like, oh no, now I have to dance with someone else. And I was kind of just standing, waiting to see who I would have as a partner. And then Ricardo grabbed me and we just went. And that moment, I think, was my favorite moment because I was nervous, and the love that I desired was met with someone taking me with care without me feeling like I had to expose myself to ask for it. It was like already there. And that was the task, just that one moment. And then the rest was like freedom to play.
I always have loved to dance with older folks in body or mind, you know, because there's lots of wisdom in knowing how to move your body efficiently, you know what I mean, with what you got, you know what I mean. So I am very always like curious in her choices, you know what I mean, and what she's gonna do, how she's gonna do it, how you maneuver in a space and things. So it's really lovely to see her like really in it and going for it.
It takes me longer to sustain embodiment than before, so it's like, oh, that actually isn't what I thought I was doing. It's like, oh shoot, okay, I need to do that, because it's like, it's almost like the opposite, you know, when you've never grown and you go, oh wow, I can reach there, and you go, wow, I didn't know it. So now it's like, I think I'm reaching there, but I'm actually here.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, what do I have to do? Because I still need to get there. It won't look like that, but it needs to be my version of there. Right. And so the same thing goes back to this thing about, that is a negotiation you have to do till you leave. So the process of growing older is learning how to cope with and balance grief with joy. You know, and then particularly for dancers, who we are our bodies, there is this whole level of grief.
We're going on this journey together, which is exciting. And we've spoken about this too, of we're all agreeing to not arrive, but journey together.
I think there's a lot of care in the process. Like, are you good physically? Like, are you emotionally good? And what do you think about X? So a lot of conversations and care.
Jacob's Pillow has really been like a temporary home. It's like a bowl. It's tilting all of us towards the center and towards each other.
And so as a dramaturg, I'm always trying to figure out the artist who I'm supporting, like what kind of how do they receive information? How do they need it? Crystal just blows that up for me because she, I think, operates with a lot of information but catches it so quickly that it seems like it's low context, but she's actually like working with whole universes in her, inside of her. Yeah. It's magic. It's tremendous.
The work really kind of came to its head after I watched my mother pass, right? And so I remember the day that I didn't see any more light in her eyes. And it was at least a year before she actually passed away. But all of it started to make sense to me on a different level. There's a time when something inside is already done before the life is done, or before the body gives way to the passing. And so that also kind of really congealed my understanding of what we were really making. And that was about 3 years ago. all of these dynamics that are at play in the room are somehow centered around my question, but they're also tentacles, again, of that idea of this legacy and this connection that I'm a part of. And as you know, we're talking in the process about this root system that allows things to be connected without being seen, and feed what needs to be fed and let die what needs to die. So, I mean, when we think about this time that we've been here, I think that's really been the crux of where we've come to with the work, is that it is an experiential understanding of how life prevails, what feeds life, what these components of the flesh, the soul, the spirit are for, and how we're navigating that constant permutation of who gets to talk when and why.
Yes, at the pillow.
How do I look?
You look great.
So I met Crystal's Brown movement before I met Crystal Brown.
Claudia.